Because I think you're a sexist, misogynist dinosaur.
Point taken.
Not quite 007. If you think for one moment I don't have the balls to send a man out to die, your instincts are dead wrong.
The Bond films of the 1990s were asking the question, do we still need Bond? Mm-hmm. And they're coming after a 6-year hiatus. The world had changed. So the Cold War was over. So geopolitically, there was a lot going on in those films. But also women have changed. You have the rise of the post-feminist movement, which is a movement that I think is problematic. It tends to be sort of like a white, Western, Northern movement that basically says women have achieved all essential liberties. So there's nothing holding you back. You can embrace your sexuality without being judged. And I think that when we look at the fact that pay equity still exists, and we just talked about sexual violence still exists, like we haven't hit that. But it's this idea that really influenced spy culture. So spy shows, spy movies, it's there. And so the question is, how does Bond, occupy this new world? How does he negotiate a place for himself and maybe some of his old school ways in a climate, in a culture where you have a woman now for a boss who's going to call you out, which she does in her first reading with him, right? Calling him a sexist, misogynistic dinosaur. But she's also a boss who accepts the fact that she needs that skill set, which is an interesting, I think that's the way that the franchise accepts it. And then she shows that women are, in a general sense, that women are capable and competent. Whether it's Natalia Simonova, Wei Lin, or Jinx Johnson, you're having women who are capable and competent in what they do. Whether you're a computer programmer, you don't always have to fight in order to be capable and competent in a Bond film. Or you have Michelle Yeoh, who's a bona fide action superstar, stepping into the role, raising the fighting bar, which Halle Berry then steps in and is trying to meet or match. And then, of course, you have the first woman villain with Elektra King coming in and masquerading as a Bond girl and using Bond's libidinal masculinity against him. And so you do have, I think the Brosnan era has some really fascinating women and Bond trying to negotiate this space. And I think Pierce Brosnan is very good at being like, oh crap, okay, I need to pivot. Like it's part of the persona that he presented.